All right, welcome to Sport Talk on Enterprise TV, where we give you all the latest on what is happening in the world of sports. If you are joining us for the first time, please do well to follow us across all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. My name is John Olasukomi. Join me and let's ride together. On today's menu, we'll be talking about NPFL and, of course, gone are the days whereby any international break. Me in person, I'm always happy, to welcome international break. But these days, we are all celebrating. European Football Club to be back. And of course, guess what? English Premier League is back. La Liga is back. Italian Serie is back. Bundesliga, French Ligue 1. And of course, NPFL continues. Joining me virtually today is Dami Welt, making a return back to Sport Talk. Dami Welt, welcome to Sport Talk.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm happy to be here this wonderful morning. We are still in the morning anyway, so I'm good to go, basically. I'm good to go.
Like I said earlier, Dami, we are gone are the days where we used to celebrate international break, but not anymore these days. What happened?
The answer is very glaring. You understand? The answer is very, very glaring because we all know what is happening nowadays with our football. Our football is no longer making us happy. I still remember very well. I've been a fan of Nigerian football since when I was very, very little.
Since primary school days. We just wanted to see Okocha, I wanted to see Kano, Rashidi Yekini. These are names.
Yes. Even then, I think I was just about getting into the primary school. I had an accident then that broke my leg. Like, it shattered my leg, when I was very little. I can still remember it was Rashidi Yekini who scored a goal. And I don't remember the exact match that we were playing then, but it was a Nigerian match anyway. So we were coming back from church and Rashidi Yekini scored. And back in the days, everybody goes out to celebrate.
Yes, of course.
So that was what happened, and a bike man broke my leg totally. I had surgery, and
so sorry about that. Just because of Super Eagles.
That just shows the passion that we used to have.
But these days, we now celebrate Premier League to return. Celebrate La Liga, of course. It is what it is. Let's see how it goes. You know how we do it. We always start with local football because charity begins at home. We'll be starting with the NPFL. Enyimba FC have parted ways with their technical advisor Stanley Eguma following a string of poor results in the ongoing Nigerian Premier Football League season. Dami Welt, after match day 11, we've seen 7 coaches sacked, 1 suspended in the NPFL out of 20 club side. Come on, what's going on? Kano pillars, Evans, Ogenyi, Ikorodu, Ali, Kandil, mentioned them, a lot of them. What's really going on?
You see, it's because most of our club owners, they are not patient. Nowadays, football, the more football grows, the more money enters into football, the more it becomes business. And I don't blame these club owners. I don't blame them because they are spending a whole lot of money. Look at Coalition of Raymond, for example. Raymond won the league last season. So why are they so poor this season? Coalition is this kind of owner that spends money. He sponsors his team very well. He pays them well, and sometimes teams go deep in form. But this is not the first time that Raymond Stars will be qualifying to the Champions League or to competitions and really fumbling a lot. You understand? So I understand him allowing his coach to leave. For Enyimba FC, the problem has been there from even last season. Enyimba were nowhere to be found. Enyimba used to be at least 4th or 2nd in the league. But for the past 2 seasons now, Enyimba has really been fumbling. And I guess they really want another manager to take charge of that team. And probably, sacking of coaches is true. It's the bane of football nowadays. But sacking 7 coaches in about a league where we have just 20 teams and just 11 game weeks, that's very, very horrible. That's crazy. That's too crazy.
No. All right, let's take a look at other clubs that have sacked their coach. Like I said earlier, Kano Pillars, Evans, Ogenyi, Ikorodu City, Ali Kandil, Bayelsa, Monday, Odigie, Bendel, Insurance, Raymond, Ikhenoba, Kwara United, Tunde, Sanni, Khalifa, Uzoho, Obinna, Warri Wolves, Napoleon, Ahuma. And of course, let's go straight to this weekend fixtures. Damn well. Ikorodu City are dancing lonely at the top. Who would have thought that Ikorodu City will be on top of the log table as early as this in the Nigerian Premier Football League?
And, it also brings the question, why did they sack their coach there? I mean, look at them in the league. And so far, so good. I don't think Ikorodu City has actually done bad this season. Even from last season. They started the league quite, shaky last season. But they grew into the league and they started winning games, especially at home. Ikorodu City were known for scoring goals. Be it home or away, they score you. They are very free-flowing.
Yes, of course.
Well, they are top in the league anyways. And would I say surprised? I'm not so surprised because it's the NPFL.
Of course, damn well, I am surprised. Because in a league where you have Enyimba, where you have Kano Pillars, we have Rivers United, we have Raymond Stars. These are big guns in the league. They spent a lot of money. Raymond Stars sold a lot of players. They brought in one of their best players last season, talking about their defender, Ngege, to Raymond Stars. But yeah, they are still doing well. I think they deserve some credit.
Of course. I mean, they deserve some. See, the thing is, let's look at the quality of the league. You understand? Let's look at the quality of the players we have in the league. I mean, Olafukomi, to be candid with you, I used to be a believer of, I still believe in our players and in our talent, but I think the talent pool has drastically dropped. Look at, for example, our under 15s, our under 17s, to our under 20s. We no longer even qualify to these big tournaments any longer. Now look at the league itself. Back in the day, I mean, if you ask me, the last time that the league produced very good players that actually went to the Super Eagles and did well was back in 2013, and that's like 12 years ago now. Where we had Sondumba and Godfrey Obabona.
Yes, of course.
And maybe I will mention what's the name of this guy? Ikechukwu Ezenwa. You understand? Who the goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper.
I think. And then I'm going to mention this guy too, even though he didn't really make it. I mean, he was in Sporting Lagos the last time I heard about him. That was in Kano Pillars. I've forgotten his name. The winger, he's an attacker. He was invited to the Super Eagles, but he didn't really stay much. Then, it was very good anyways. So, but basically, our league is not producing players
anymore.
Yeah, anymore. The talent pool has really dropped. So when you say Raymond Stars buys a player, a very top player in the league, how good is this top player? Is it that because they say something? They say form is temporary.
Yes, of course, it's permanent.
So you can have just a form for a season or for like 6 months, and people start hailing you. But are you so good or far better than someone that is in Sporting Lagos that is playing in the NNL right now? For me, I just think that the talent pool is not that wide. I mean, look at Benjamin Frederick. Of course, you have that pop up every time. Benjamin Frederick is just about 20 years old. He was from an academy right here in Nigeria.
Yes, of course.
Went to Brentford. You understand? Brentford, who is now loaned to the Belgian league. But look at how good he is. But in our league, number one, I think the coaches themselves need to improve on their CV, improve on their coaching ability. They need to internalize to bring, because I mean, coaching is basically like art. You have to be creative. How do you want to tackle this? You're like a strategist basically. So I think our coaches should improve. And the environment, I'm talking about the facilities, the training facilities, the gym. How many of our football clubs have, something as even small as a very good gym? You understand? Or a very good recreation center for these guys. Because there's so many things that are involved in football. It's not just knowing how to play football. You need to also improve. You need to also create an environment where these players can actually improve. And I don't see that in the NPFL, sorry to say.
I can remember the very first time that I went to Ahuma Township Stadium, and the first thing that came out from my mouth was, is this where they play NPFL? I looked at their locker room and I was like, come on, what is this? I've seen Old Trafford, you know, I've seen Emirates, I've seen a lot of, you know, I'm not saying we should build something like that, but at least at 30 or 40%. Come on, this is not, I must tell you that, well, I was like, this is not it. This is not happening in Nigeria.
Yeah. Look, I was talking about Morocco with someone, you know.
All right, let's take a look at other fixtures. Kano Pillars, we host Ikorodu City. Ikorodu City will play away from home. They will be playing on the road. Wikki versus Bayelsa. Nasarawa United versus Kanemi. Enugu Rangers versus Niger Tornadoes. Raymond Stars that just defeated Kano Pillars. We face Barao. Abia Warriors versus Bendel Insurance. King of Draw Super Warri Wolves. We host Queen Khalifa. And of course, Cristiano United versus the biggest name as far as NPFL is confirmed. Is concerned, I beg your pardon, talking about Enyimba Football Club that just sacked their head coach. All right, away from NPFL, let's move straight to FIFA World Cup. Just a few days ago, FIFA's official World Cup account shared the first poster for the 2026 tournament. It featured one player from each national team that has already qualified for the finals in US, Mexico, and of course, Canada. And of course, guess who is not there? Damn you well. Cristiano Ronaldo was not there initially. But trust me, it's spilled out. Fans, a lot of people came out and said, this is not going to happen. And after some days, it was changed. What happened? Who should be blamed? The media, FIFA. I don't even know who should be blamed right now. Because it is ridiculous. You know, how can you put Bruno Fernandes? Yeah. Come on, Cristiano Ronaldo is a big.
See, you know, when I saw this, okay, funny enough, I was having a friendly conversation with a friend of mine who is a pure Messi fan.
Okay.
You know, like an ardent Messi fan, he's a Chelsea fan, basically. Pius, shout out to you. And you know,
I know some Messi fans will still come out to defend it. I'm very sure, I'm pretty sure.
Of course, they've been defending it. You know, I was having a conversation with him, and you know when Argentina won the World Cup, right? FIFA and posted something that the GOAT debate is now over. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, of course, I saw it.
And I found that ridiculous as well. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, I don't think FIFA itself, unless the allegations are actually true, that FIFA is probably helping or pushed Argentina and Messi to win the World Cup.
Come on, tell me well. It's so obvious at the last World Cup. Argentina played over 1 million penalties. We all saw it.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
Definitely. You know, so I was asking him, and I was like, see, what happened? That post probably is from the handler and not from FIFA itself.
but they saw it. Damn it, well. They saw it. Yes, of course.
They didn't break that up because nobody was really complaining about it, right? Because Messi just won the World Cup with Argentina. This time around, with this, it just shows that either FIFA themselves have been doing something behind that there's an agenda against Cristiano Ronaldo. Forget the fact that I'm a Manchester United fan.
There is. Damn it, right. I must tell you, there is. Because I remember even during the time of Sepp Blatter, a lot happened concerning Ronaldo Messi. A lot. Okay. We saw it. It's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it. Because why will you post a picture of the World Cup? And for Portugal, you are using Bruno Fernandes.
Come on, that's crazy.
Instead of Cristiano Ronaldo. And if FIFA had probably posted Ronaldo, I probably posted for Argentina, they put someone like Martinez or Julian Alvarez. And for Portugal, they posted like Bruno Fernandes. Nobody would have said anything. It's like, you know, would have thought maybe FIFA was trying to move away from the old guns. To move on. But how can you post Messi for Argentina and Bruno Fernandes for Portugal? It doesn't make any sense. So I can only think that probably the handler, the FIFA handler, Twitter handler or social media handler, is a Messi fan and is trying to push an agenda you understand, against Ronaldo fans, which for me is a sackable offense. I think that person should be sacked because it doesn't say it well at all. I mean, just a few days ago, we saw Ronaldo, Donald Trump, and the FIFA president was there in that dinner that they had.
Yes,
I
of
don't know if
course.
you saw it.
At the White House.
So why would you do something like that? It doesn't make any sense. I know they're not posting another picture. I mean, the damage has been done already.
Come on, that's crazy. And of course,
It's
you
crazy.
remember this ending of the year mantra: if you reach your turn, no talk. I trust Ronaldo fans, of course,
Of course,
bashing from
Ivan.
front, back, left, right, center. It was
And
insane,
the excuse of Messi fans.
Mm.
The excuse of Messi fans was like Ronaldo already said the World Cup doesn't mean anything to him. You understand? They were like he downgraded the World Cup, he played down the World Cup or something like that. And I'm like, many of them did not even watch the PS Morgan interview
What else
because
do
if
you
you
want
go,
from a 41 years old man?
he basically said that winning the World Cup should not define his career. So
That shouldn't be
how is that?
a yardstick for a GOAT debate. I saw the
You
interview.
understand? It should not define his career. I mean, he has played over 1,000 matches. Yet you want to define his career by just 7 matches. Come on, come on.
That's crazy. All right, and
Very
let's see
crazy.
how it goes. Of course, all thanks to Ronaldo fans, the PR Ronaldo have now been included in the FIFA World Cup 2026 poster. All right, arguably the greatest player of all time. For me, it's my own opinion. All right, away from FIFA World Cup, let's move straight to the Premier League. Arsenal are expected to be without a defensive link pin, talking about Gabriel when they host London rivals Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday 23rd November as Manchester City seek to keep up the pressure on the Premier League leaders. Arsenal versus Tottenham, a North London derby. What are your thoughts? Arsenal without Gabriel. Gabriel has been the best best player, best defender in the EPL this season so far. Scoring goals, defending well, for me. So what are your thoughts, Dami?
Well, I think I think they're gonna win this match for Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, Gabriel has been one of their best players, if not their best players. I remember when Saliba and Gabriel started about 2 seasons ago, people were like praising Saliba and leaving out Gabriel.
Yes.
But now he said to Gabriel instead of Saliba. But two of them are two of, probably the best defenders in Europe currently. And talking about his injury, it's quite unfortunate. It's an international game. It was an international friendly against Senegal. Quite inconsequential, but you still have to play to show the passion. They're not like Nigerian players that any small knock like this, they don't come out. You understand? But, basically, Arsenal are going to miss him. Don't doubt that. They're going to miss him. But I don't want to agree with the fact that Arsenal are going to probably lose the game because of him. Or they will go on a run of, if Arsenal go on a run of, losing, it won't be because of Gabriel. It will be because of probably they've lost form. Even though they have so many players injured. But I think Bukayo Saka back is I think he's one of the most important Arsenal players, if not the most important. Bukayo Saka is back. Eberechi is there. Trossard is there. Even though Martinelli is injured, but there's Trossard. There's Eberechi who can play the role of Martin Odegaard, who is injured. And brilliant Arteta was able to, turn Merino into a striker last season. And he's been scoring goals even this season. So Merino will play for them as a striker. Even Trossard can strike for them. There is, what's his name? This Nigerian, the other Nigerian there in the attack. He's also there for them. Young guy, Waneri. He can also play in the midfield. He can play on the wings. So Arsenal have the most complete squad in the EPL this season. And from the beginning of the season, for about 2 seasons now, we say that Arsenal are going to win the league. I think it's right for them to win the league. They have the best squad, and this should not affect them. And Tottenham also don't know how to score, basically. Tottenham must score. They have about 12 injuries. 12 injuries. Their key players are injured. And even Randall Kolumani is injured. So probably they're going to start with, what's his name? So Richarlison, yeah, and the one they just got from Bayern Munich last season. So, but I still see Arsenal winning that game.
All right, Arsenal winning our North London derby against Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, Chelsea will be playing on the road against Burnley, and Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. After this international break, do you see them bouncing back? Talking about Liverpool.
Well, Nottingham Forest also are trying to get themselves. Liverpool international breaks are not always the best time to, because you guys are just coming back, understand. But I see that game as a very tight game. Liverpool will win that game slimly. I want to give it to Liverpool. Just a slim chance for Liverpool.
All right, let's see whether Florian Wirtz will definitely do something against Nottingham Forest. Let's take a look at other fixtures. Bournemouth will host West Ham United, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Crystal Palace, Brighton versus Brentford, Fulham versus Sunderland, Newcastle United versus Manchester City. A must-win game for Manchester City. And of course, we can't take anything away from the beast himself, the Viking. Arguably, the best number 9 on planet Earth right now. Talking about Erling Haaland, they will just want to mount pressure on Arsenal. Do you see them winning this one against Newcastle United at the St. James Park?
Well, this game is going to be played at the St. James's Park, and it's not going to be easy for Manchester City at all. Apart from the form that Haaland currently possesses, it's in the form of his life. I mean,
this was
the form he had when he just came to City about 3 seasons ago. If you remember, this was where he was scoring goals. And for me, they've won the Ballon d'Or then, but they give it to Messi anyway. So that's my God.
No, don't talk about it. Go ahead.
But I mean, how can someone win the best player in the EPL, highest goal scorer, won the treble, the highest goal scorer in Europe, and yet you didn't give him the Ballon d'Or? You gave it to someone. Anyways, let's leave that. But basically, I think that it's going to be a very tough game. I do not want City to win this game. I do not want them to win the league. So from my own bad belly angle, City are going to lose. I want them to lose. But looking at it, Newcastle have been good in Europe in the Champions League, but very bad in England. But I mean, they are playing at home, so I think they are going to give City a run for their money. If they can hold Haaland, if they can devise the tactics to hold Haaland, I think they're going to get a draw.
Of course, we are just only praising Haaland, and we take a look at the form of Jeremy Doku too. He has been in scintillating form, even both country and Manchester City.
Definitely, I think Doku has picked form at a very good time. But I want to see Doku do this in about 10 games on his bounce, at least, before I can start rating him very high. Doku is a brilliant player, but he's not consistent.
Yes, of course. I agree with you on that one.
And Guardiola is not a patient person. Doku might play against Newcastle and have a very, very bad first half. I don't think Guardiola take him off.
Yes,
you understand? So
that's
not consistent. But Newcastle will have to be at the top of their game. I mean, they have a good striker as well in Wotamade, and hopefully, they can get something in that game.
All right, let's see how it goes. Newcastle versus Manchester City. Leeds, we host Aston Villa, and of course, on Monday, 24th of November, we'll be seeing Manchester United in action. We're back here to talk about United versus Everton. All right, away from our English Premier League, let's move straight to Spain. Finally, reopening Camp Nou is cause to celebrate for Barcelona, but coach Hansi Flick will only be happy if they inaugurate their rebuilt stadium by kickstarting their La Liga title defense on Saturday, 22nd November. This is going to be a morale booster for Barcelona as they host Athletic Bilbao. Although they still trail Real Madrid by 3 points. But of course, playing at home, playing at Camp Nou, we all know Camp Nou, how big Camp Nou is. If you are not careful, you just lost inside Camp Nou Stadium. You can ask the likes of Chelsea, United, a lot of big guns, whenever they play at Camp Nou during the Ronaldinho, Lionel Messi era, a lot of things happened at Camp Nou. Do you see this one boosting their morale?
Well, of course, it's going to be a morale booster. Look at when United opened Carrington, when they reopened Carrington earlier this summer. They used it as a morale booster to the players. I mean, the way they designed everything, putting the trophies everywhere. So I think this kind of things actually, I mean, imagine you are a football player. If you go to one of the key reasons why some players want to go to Real Madrid, to the Bernabeu,
It's because
apart
of
from the
Santiago.
name, Santiago Bernabeu is one of the most beautiful stadiums in the whole world, or in Europe currently. It's a covered stadium, the layers, everything. And the Camp Nou also right now, according to what Barcelona have been saying, the 45 Camp Nou is going to be massive. Like it's going to be very, very beautiful. The aesthetics, the grass everywhere. So as a player, of course, it will be a morale booster for you. At least playing at that Camp Nou, you go die there, say, "Nah, no go beat us," because
Yes, of course.
you have that. I mean, this is your home, and it's beautiful. It's like a paradise. So I think it's a morale booster.
All right, this weekend they will be playing against Athletic Bilbao, and guess who will be playing against Barca? Nico Williams is back for Athletic Bilbao. Do you see him causing any upset against Barcelona? You all know the whole drama between Barca and Nico, Williams. So it's going to be a tough one.
I mean, instead of Barca going for Nico Williams, at the end of the day, they went for Dani Olmo. That was last season, and this season it just dead that issue. They still have Rafinha, and they had the option of Rashford, so they went for him. Nico Williams is a good player, but I think Nico Williams is still in his shell. For me, if he doesn't want to be like his brother Inaki Williams, who has just been at Bilbao, I mean, a decent player. I think if he wants to actually top it, like wants to go to the next level, I think he should leave Barcelona. I'm sorry, leave Atletico Bilbao and go to a bigger club, or another country to actually play good football. But look at the form of Atletico Bilbao this season. It's been very horrible. Both in the Champions League, in the league, they've been very bad. And I don't see Nico Williams coming to change that all of a sudden. The problem with Barcelona now is that Barcelona play high line. And it seems that Ancelotti doesn't want to change that. That is his model of coaching. And with a player like Nico Williams, it might actually counter Barcelona because with his speed, when Barca go high line, they can use his speed to run with the ball, but they will need Nico Williams to be very, very alert. You understand? There's a way you play the high line. You stay at the back of the defenders, stay offside. So by the time Nico Williams is running, you come back onside, he crosses the ball. I mean, go and ask Elche and some of these guys that have beaten Barcelona or even Sevilla. This is the modus operandi. If they can do that, I think, they might have a chance with Nico Williams and against Barcelona.
All right, let's see how it goes. Barca vs Bilbao, Alaves versus Celta Vigo, Osasuna versus Real Sociedad. Villarreal has also been in great form. They will host Mallorca. Mallorca are doing well for themselves. Oviedo versus Rayo Vallecano. Real Betis versus Girona. Getafe versus Atletico de Madrid. Atletico de Madrid has been up and down. And of course, Elche, we host Real Madrid. What are your thoughts on Real Madrid? It's like they really mean Barcelona this time around.
Well, yeah, of course. It's like they need to reclaim the league, They have their man, Kylian Mbappe there, who's scoring goals. Jude Bellingham is back. I was surprised they couldn't defeat, was it Oviedo the last time out? They played 0-0. But I've also seen that it's always difficult for them to actually win, that team away from home. But against Elche, I expect them to win. I expect Kylian Mbappe to score. Kylian Mbappe is pursuing a record. He scored 400 goals the last time.
Yes, of course.
And he said people should not rate him at all. That people don't remember he scored 400 goals. That he aims to score another 400 goals. You understand? So I expect him to continue firing, and Real Madrid should win this game quite easily.
All right, let's see how it goes. They are on top of the La Liga with 3 points ahead of Barcelona. Sometimes it used to be two teams in La Liga, and sometimes it used to be 3 teams. Atletico Madrid, like I said earlier on, they are on and off when it comes to La Liga.
They're currently fourth. Yeah, Atletico Madrid are currently fourth on the league. Villarreal are third currently. But Atletico Madrid have been on a good form. If you check, they've been on a very good run of form, winning games both in the Champions League and in the league. So I expect them to win this weekend as well. That's if the devil that has been, hunting, the testimony doesn't hunt again this weekend. I expect them to win. Julian Alvarez has been very exceptional for them. And Griezmann this season, Griezmann has been good too.
That is another underrated player you just mentioned, Julian Alvarez. All right, away from La Liga, let's move straight to Italy. Of course, this weekend we'll be definitely seeing a Milan derby. Milan takes center stage on Sunday night, 23rd November, as the city's two football giants face off at the San Siro with top spot in Serie up for grabs, while troubled Napoli tried to reset after the international break. Damn well, let's talk about Milan derby. Gone are the days where you will see the likes of Taribo West versus, greatest winner of all time, Madini. We will see Delima Ronaldo versus another legend, at AC Milan. You will see Gattuso versus the Cambiaso versus the Zanetti. But these days, who are we seeing? Who are we seeing? We are seeing Rafael Leao versus Lautaro Martinez, Marcos Thuram versus, it's somehow for me.
Yes, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, football is changing. AC Milan have been, this season have been quite good for them. Rafael Leao, Christian Pulisic, they've been scoring goals. They are currently, they were top of the league at some point, but I see this game as a very tough game. Inter Milan are not all that as well. They might have probably turned the corner and winning games currently because they have quality players in that thing. But I really want to see how they're going to face this in-form AC Milan. AC Milan have not really lost, much games this season. So I expect this game to be a draw. Maybe a score, maybe 2-2, 1-1 draw.
Tell me what, I feel this game is going to be all about, Christian Kivu versus, Maximiliano and Allegri. It's going to be Kivu versus Allegri for me. Because Allegri has really turned this AC Milan to something else.
Yeah, he has made them solid. And, that's one thing about some of these, let me say, old coaches. Allegri is, you might not like his brand of football. He doesn't care about it. He's quite conservative. He's quite, he knows what he wants and he goes for it. Allegri is not a system coach. When you want to call system coaches like Pep Guardiola, like even your own Ruben Amorim, you want to call, coaches like even the former Inzaghi that was at Inter Milan. They have a system that they want to play. But Allegri is, I will name him in the brand of Carlo Ancelotti. Like of Ferguson. They don't have a particular system that they want to play. They have a tactics basically, and they want to utilize that tactics. They just want to beat you. You understand? And make sure you don't score many goals against them. So I think that's what he's been doing. He doesn't care much about how much you pass from the back or all these ones. But play ball, you utilize your player, use the tactics, and win games. That's what he's been doing. And I think, that's what has been working for him. That's why I said he's not going to lose this game. I see a draw in this game.
All right, let's take a look at other fixtures. Cagliari versus Genoa, Udinese versus Bologna, Fiorentina versus, I call them almighty Juventus, maybe because I support Juventus, but there is nothing like almighty in this team anymore. Fiorentina, David Odigie versus Juventus. What are your thoughts? I don't think there is anything almighty in Juventus anymore.
You see, if goals now water, David Odigie would have drowned. He would have drowned, right? Because he has considered tons of goals this season. Alas, I don't know if you've noticed that the hype on Odigie has died down this season compared to last season. Not good.
I think generally Fiorentina are struggling, not just all about David Odigie.
Why is somebody Odigie this, Odigie that? When United still was still battling with Onana, and they were like, Odigie shouldn't have been sold. He should have been allowed to stay. But look at
tell me well, but because our feet, David Odigie is better than Andre Onana at that time. That is why 40-year-old David Odigie is better than Onana as at that time.
The thing is that with a player like Onana has his plus and his minus. I think you were the one that was comparing Onana and Mwabali the other side. The problem with Onana, just like our own Nwabali here in Nigeria, is that overconfidence. They believe they are better than what they are. Do you understand? Okay, for example, now I'll have to come in. What has Saint Lamen, the current goalkeeper of United, what has he done differently to us?
The stability.
Stability.
Confidence.
He doesn't care about the style, the aesthetics, the holding the ball, the trying to play like a defender. He doesn't care. He just wants to
judge his own job.
He just wants to punch the ball. He just wants to, you understand? He just wants to do the basics. And that's the problem that Onana has. But this is not about Onana. You know, David De Gea, of course, is a brilliant goalkeeper. But for example, I understood why Ten Hag allowed him to leave United back in the day, because he needed someone that could actually play from the back. That's his system. That is what he wanted. You understand? If it was Amorim would have left David De Gea at the helm. But Ten Hag wanted someone that could build attack from the back, because that is how he wants to play. And then I found no fault in that. Just that Onana, I mean, it got into his head and he started playing rubbish.
What are you talking about? It is what it is. Yeah, all right, let's see how it goes. Maybe Juventus will definitely capitalize on that one against Fiorentina.
They are winning. I think they are going to defeat Fiorentina, or at least a win or draw. Fiorentina are on a very bad form. Very, very bad form.
All right, Napoli versus Atalanta. Of course, Atalanta just sacked their coach, Ivan Juric. And let's see whether Ademola Lookman will definitely be the best man on the pitch when they play away from home against Napoli. Verona will host Parma. Cremonese versus Roma. Roma has also been in great form. They are joint top, of course, they're top of the league with Inter Milan. Only just that, I mean, goal difference separated, Inter from them. They are up there.
Of course, they are up there.
What is that thing that is working for Roma?
AS Roma have good players. Like, they have, decent players. And I don't know if you noticed, in the summer, AS Roma actually signed very good players. I think they signed about 5 or so players. Good players in places that they actually needed. They signed players from the Italian league and even outside of the Italian league. I can't give you names right now. But, and they also have some very decent players still in that team. Someone like Pellegrini, I like him a lot. He's a very decent player. He has, and I mean, AS Roma, for me, I'm not surprised that they are doing what they might not win the league, because that is AS Roma. We've seen them in this position many times. They might not win the league, but what they are doing currently is very, very good. And sorry, Atalanta versus Napoli. Napoli might not win this game because yes, they might have Scott McTominay scoring, in all cylinders, fine, but the creativity is somehow lacking. You cannot expect.
They really miss.
It's as simple as that. You cannot rely on what's his name, Zambo Anguissa, to create all the time. He's not that kind of player. You get, and they're also missing Lukaku. Now they're missing Lukaku. But hate Lukaku or love him, he's that kind of player that can bring you. He can bring out chestnut. He can bring chestnut out of the fire. I don't know if I'm right with that. But he can actually provide for you when you least expect. You can't compare him to Højlund. Højlund needs you to create for him and create for him on a platter of gold. Like, keep creating for him and he will eventually score you goals. So I think they are missing him. Hopefully, maybe Scott McTominay might give them something, but Scott McTominay himself wants to be created for. He is not a creator. He's a midfielder, but not a creator. He's a goal scorer. That's why they are struggling, basically.
All right. Lazio versus Lecce, Inter Milan versus AC Milan at derby. And of course, in Germany, a Bundesliga, Dortmund academy team, we host Stuttgart, Bayern Munich versus Freiburg, Wolfsburg versus Leverkusen, Cologne versus Frankfurt, Leipzig versus Bremen. And of course, in French Ligue 1, Lens versus Strasbourg, Rennes, we host Monaco. Good to hear that Paul Pogba is back. He might definitely take part in this game for Monaco. Are you happy about it? Damn well.
Of course. I'm always happy about Paul Pogba. I like him a lot. He's a very good player. Unfortunately, he had
a very proud, good player.
Yeah, what is wrong? What is wrong with that? I mean, he hasn't. I don't think he has ever done
You know,
something bad
you
to any
know,
player.
you need to be to some. You need to be in. I mean, to some certain height.
Get to some extent or level, okay?
Someone like Ronaldo can be proud. Someone like Messi, if you call them
Okay.
proud, good player, I will agree with you. Someone like Neymar, Mbappe,
Okay.
but not Pogba. Pogba is a good footballer, no doubt about it. But he's not
I
in
don't
that
understand.
class.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Neymar, apart from Ronaldo and Messi, you mentioned Neymar
Neymar,
and some other players.
Kylian
They are
Mbappe.
not. They are not ahead of Paul Pogba in my own reckoning.
Neymar and
They are not.
Pogba?
Forget.
Come
Bro.
on, don't talk about. Come on.
Don't even mention Mbappe.
I'm not talking about Santos. I mean, Neymar of Santos now. I'm talking about Barcelona Neymar, PSG Neymar.
No, Neymar.
Okay.
See, Neymar is. Should I say that Neymar is quite overrated?
I disagree with you.
I think
He's
he's
not.
I think he's a bit overrated.
He came at the wrong time. Neymar.
No.
Neymar. See, let me take you back a little bit, Dami Welch. Let's go back to
Okay.
2017. Paris Saint-Germain
Okay.
versus Barcelona. Neymar single-handedly won that game for Barcelona. Not even Messi.
Okay.
So
Paul Pogba
Neymar
has
is.
won the World Cup. Paul Pogba has won the World Cup and was very pivotal. He even scored in the final.
Kylian Mbappe was star man in 2018. No doubt about it. No doubt about Paul Pogba's talent.
Paul Pogba created for Mbappe in that final itself, and
Okay.
in that 2018 World Cup, Paul Pogba was very pivotal. Like he was.
Of course, I agree with you. He did his part.
And Olasukomi, if you look at the talent that Paul Pogba possesses, if you are a footballer, you'll be proud.
Of
Paul
course.
Pogba is that player that can do everything on the football pitch. He can dribble, he can shoot, he can defend, he can knock the ball a tall. He can tell me what Paul Pogba cannot do.
Do you know all these things that you mentioned? All these things that you mentioned.
Okay.
Look at Modric, we do it 10 times of what Pogba we do.
Luka Modric.
But you can never see Luka Modric do all these things that Paul Pogba has been doing. Come on.
If Paul Pogba had probably gone to a club like Barcelona or Real Madrid, do you think he would have been probably rated higher than what he is currently?
Of course, he will flop at Real Madrid because of this pride. I can say it anytime.
He came to Manchester United at a very wrong time. I don't see, Paul Pogba is a generational talent. I don't know why people underrate him a lot.
Because you know why? I would disagree with you on this one too, Dami Welch. He didn't come at the right time. He came to United at the right time. Because he felt he was bigger than everybody at United as at that time that he came. That is what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, who?
Adibling he went to a team like Real Madrid where they had Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Casemiro. He would definitely be right on the bench. He will be begging for opportunity to showcase his talent. But when he came to United, he felt, okay, I'm the big boy here. I'm the biggest player here. Of course, he came to United. Do you know how much United bought him? Have you forgotten?
If Chouameni and Kamavinga can play in this Real Madrid midfield, Paul Pogba will play. Come on now, what are you saying? See,
if Chouameni came as at when Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, and of course Casemiro, as at when they were in form, he will rot on the bench.
And that was why they didn't buy Paul Pogba then.
Yes,
that was why
course.
They didn't buy him. Now, even if Paul Pogba was in that team then, he might not be a starter, he might like a regular.
He won't start.
You'll be seeing him playing. He will be playing often and often. Probably coming off the bench and starting some games. Or
maybe probably I mean, that might have, reduced his ego, in my own opinion.
Okay, maybe, but now you signed a player for 90 million pounds, which was the record in England at that time. Then you brought him to a team that was filled with average players. Who was Pogba playing with at United? He was playing with the likes of Schneiderlin. He was playing with Marouane Fellaini, who for me is a good player, but is still quite average. You understand? It's not the midfielder that he actually needed to play. Look at France. Pogba was playing with N'Golo Kante. Now to even say that United had the opportunity to sign N'Golo Kante, I think that was during Van Gaal's time or so. They had the opportunity to sign N'Golo Kante and they slept on it. They allowed Chelsea signing. Imagine United have had Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante in the team then. We used to say the same thing you were saying.
Oh, damn me out. I got your point. But when Bruno Fernandes came to United, who did he meet? Who did he play with? But yet, he was doing his job regularly, week in, week out. He was scoring goals, he was making assists for United.
When Paul Pogba started playing with Matic and Bruno Fernandes, you saw that his game lifted at United. He was playing better, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was because they were playing him with, bang of average players. The only person I could rate then was probably Herrera. And to be honest with you, Herrera also had some bad games.
Yes, of course.
A little bit above all those Schneiderlin and co. You get, and that's just it. Basically, he came to United at a very wrong time. At Juventus, Paul Pogba was balling with the likes of Pelu. He was scoring goals. He was creating. They got to the final of the Champions League. Bro, I don't know.
I feel, in my own opinion, like I said earlier on, I feel he allowed, the money, the noise, the hype to get into him, and of course, for me, it was a flop at United. If Bruno Fernandes could do times 10 of what Pogba did at United, come on, what are we talking about? Okay. I know you support your man, but if you are to pick one player between Fernandes and Pogba at United, who will go for?
Of course, Fernandes.
Okay, case closed.
Pogba is very flop. He wasn't a flop.
Okay, all right, excuse me. All right, let's go straight to other fixtures. Paris Saint-Germain versus Le Havre, Israel. We host Olympic Lyon. That is how much you can take on Sport on Enterprise TV7. If you are here to follow us across all social media, endeavor to do that. We are at Enterprise TV7 across all social media platforms. Visit our website at www.enterprisetv.com, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Dami Wealth has been good on the show today. Dami Wealth.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. I mean, I've enjoyed it so far.
Which game are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, my United is not playing this weekend.
I know.
So, I seriously, I'm not really looking forward to any because there are no big games. But I would definitely see the Arsenal versus Tottenham game, and yes, the City versus Newcastle game. Yeah, another important thing.
All right, let's see how it goes. And of course, for me, I'll be seeing Fiorentina versus almighty Juventus. But let's see how it goes.
You want to see your Odigie drink goals again.
Come on, let's see how it goes. My name remains John Olasukomi. See you next time.